towards the basket, misses one.
Well, hello once again, and welcome to Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock, and it's hard to believe we're already to this time of year. October now in full swing, and that means that senior night quickly approaching for the IUE's volleyball team. And here to talk with me today, the two seniors on the team, Bailey Gates and Madison Yoder. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks
for
Caleb.
having us.
Well, it's been a little while since we've had you guys here in the studio. I think, Yoder, you said it's been 2 years. Bailey, 3 for you since you've been on the show. But for those that maybe don't remember, just tell us a little bit about where you're from and where you went to high school. Bailey, we'll start with you.
I'm from Winchester, Indiana. It's around 35, 40 minutes away from Richmond, so it's not too far from home. And the high school was also called Winchester.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Yoder.
I'm from Indianapolis, from the west side. I went to Ben Davis High School, and I graduated with about 980 kids, so a little bit bigger than what I'm used to here. But it's kind of proportional, the school here, to where I went to high school, so it's not too bad.
Right.
I think it's a good distance away from home, not hour and a half.
Right.
Pretty good.
Well, far enough away from home, but not too far.
Yeah,
Okay.
You can go home.
Well, let's think back to high school. You're looking for somewhere to play volleyball, and IU East reaches out to you, or maybe you reached out to them. I don't know which, but what made you choose to come to IU East, Bailey?
I heard about IU East through a friend in Newcastle, actually. I know you're from there. And so I went over to check it out, and I got a hold of Coach Niekamp, and then I scheduled my visit, met with Morgan Steinbrunner and some of the other girls, and I had a really great time with them. I connected really well with the girls that I knew I'd be playing with that next year, so that kind of sealed the deal for me. And then obviously it's an IU degree. It's a lot cheaper than IU Bloomington anyways. But other than that, I liked being kind of close to home and being around not only my family and friends, but also like the atmosphere that it provides.
And how about you, Yoder?
Thinking back on it, I don't really remember how I came across IU East. I think it just kind of popped up at one point. But I was recruited by the previous coach, and when I met him and Coach Niekamp, I think we kind of really just clicked for that second. And then when I came on my visit, just walking around campus, I didn't think I wanted to go to a big school just because I was already used to that anyway, and I'm not a people person, so a smaller atmosphere really helped me a lot. I just liked the buildings and the professors that I met. They really seemed like they cared about helping their students and making sure that they were going to succeed. And then the whole just being an IU degree and knowing I wanted to go into business, I didn't have to have the Bloomington price tag to be able to get a business degree. So that really was a big factor too.
We'll talk a little bit about senior year coming up later on in the show, but let's talk a little bit about the past 3 years for you here at IU East. Bailey, just tell us how, not outside of academics, but how's volleyball gone for you the first 3 years here?
I feel like you can attest to this, and so can Yoder. We've proven we can handle a lot of adversity through our 3 years here, but it's been a great experience. I've met a lot of great people throughout these past 3-4 years, not only on the team but outside, through classes or just other sporting events. And so I'm really thankful for more than just opportunity to play, but more so like the connections I've made with people being here.
And Yoder?
Yeah, I agree with Bailey. And we've been through, it's been a roller coaster, but I wouldn't really trade it for anything because I feel like it's really helped build who we are as people. And we've been able to go through the rough times and still come out and be strong about it and go through the great times that we've had. And we just reminisce a lot on our sophomore year when we were going on that big run, and we see that now, the year that we're having now, we kind of tying the two together, and we're just really excited, and it's been great. Like Bailey said, we've met a lot of good people that have been become our really close friends, and a lot of the girls are just your forever friends, so it's great.
I'll think back to that freshman and sophomore year. How many of you as a freshman class there were on that team, and now it's down to you two. Tell us how you got here, Bailey.
just kind of what Yoder and I have been saying just recently. We pushed through a lot of ups and downs, and I am so proud of both of us with how far we've came as players and people. And whatever I thought was the end of the world at the time, like I'm sure even a few months ago in conditioning, I couldn't even tell you how I feel now about it because I don't remember. So I just told myself I'd forget about it later. And the trade-off for playing here and being with all these girls and such a great atmosphere with our athletic department, I'm very thankful for that. So, yeah.
Anything to add to that, Yoder?
I think it just kind of says who we are as players, that we're the only two left from our freshman year, and from the teams that we've gone through, that we have stuck through this, and that neither one of us are quitters, so we're not just going to easily give up on something. We really push through, and it's paid off a lot for us. We're just going through it. Senior year, it's great, and we're just we're some tough cookies, and we've really leaned on each other a lot too, and just like we can push through this, like we're gonna have a great year, and everything that we've been through in the past, it's all leading up to this, and that's really just helped build us throughout the years.
And also thinking back to freshman and sophomore year, played at Seton Catholic High School in the Chuck Mosey Memorial Gymnasium. Now you finally got lingual court at the Student Events and Activity Center. That's got to be nice to have, right, Bailey?
Oh, yeah. On top of playing in Seton, which I love the atmosphere in Seton, so I didn't really mind it, but we practiced at the church. I don't remember what church it was, but there's a church with a gym here in Richmond, and it's not the best facility, but we made do with what we had, and we just kind of ran with it. And now that we have all these nice facilities, or at least access to a gym like we do, it's really surreal, because at first, last year, since that was the first season anyone had ever been in there, it was kind of like, oh, we have our own place now. But now this year, you kind of have a more sense of pride now that having been in there and played and everything else.
Anything to add to that?
Yeah, and I think we're just really grateful too, considering what we had freshman and sophomore year, because that little gym that we practiced in was rough at times. But now having our own gym, like we have our own locker room where we can put all of our stuff. Like when we played at Seton, we didn't have our own locker room. Our stuff was just everywhere in their own locker room. We just were able to see just the Red Wolf Nation, and we're able to just, like we say to the girls, like play for what's on the wall, like play for the IU East that's on the court, play for Red Wolf Nation. And it's just nice being able to see like the pictures up and be like, okay, well, that's us. Like we are a part of this, and like, this is our own place that we have to protect. So it's nice having a gym, and it's a nice gym too, so we're thankful for that.
Well, on top of that, plenty of room to practice. You've got 2 courts that you can have going at any time, but then also you've got that banner up above hanging from the rafters with the national tournament appearances on it, so that's got to be a reminder of where you want to get to this year, right, Bailey?
Oh, yes. We had a great, the building blocks of what built our program through Lauren, Kristen, Breezy, and because of them, they kind of set a precedent of where we want to be. And like throughout our 4 years, I know both of us have been trying as individuals and as teammates to get back to that point.
Right.
And that's what we want with not only us, but for the underclassmen and the players to come.
All right. Anything to add to that, Yoder?
I think too, just like seeing the banners and seeing the former players on like the All-American, and just like all the years that they won conference tournament. Like I think for us, it's just more fueling our fire. Like we don't want just those years to be the defining moments for IU East volleyball. Sure. We just want, we want our names to be up there, and we want our seasons to be have the conference tournament and our years and stuff. And it hasn't happened yet, but we want to be able for this year to start and everyone just roll from here on out. And just for people to not say, well, they were good at this time. We want to be the ones to be like, no, we were good here too, and we did the same things that they did. And that's what we want to try and start and help out.
Well, so far in conference play, it looks like you guys are off to the right track. We'll talk more about that when we come back from the break. More of Inside IUE Sports coming up next.
Life can sometimes be chaotic. And with small children, it can be difficult to get to the doctor.
Hi, Mrs. Towns. How are you doing? have a sick little boy right here. I think he might have an ear infection.
With Read Health Now virtual visits, you don't even need to leave your home.
I'll send in a prescription for him.
Quick, easy, convenient.
I don't want to take the kids out today.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Read Health, right beside you, right now.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to Inside IU East Sports. I'm joined today by our two seniors from the IU East volleyball team, Bailey Gates and Madison Yoder, to talk about their senior year and how it's going. So we just finished up talking about how you got here to IU East and how it's been the first 3 years. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this year. We'll start off by just telling us how schoolwork's going right now, Bailey.
It's all online, so I love it. I am very grateful for the strong online program that IU East has, because with our schedule and just everything else going on in like my personal life, I'm very thankful that I can have an opportunity to take classes that are most appropriate for me in my timeline. But Yoder and I, we both are actually going to be graduating in December. So we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
I can imagine. Well, to kind of go off what Bailey was saying there, especially with your game schedule, practice schedule, stuff like that, having all online courses, because you're taking all online classes, right? So to have that advantage to you, not having to miss as many classes and stuff, has got to be really nice, right?
Yeah, I mostly took online courses because I am not very good at the whole class thing. I know freshman year, it wasn't class, but I missed my academic meetings. I think I only made 2 my first semester of freshman year, so I don't know. The online was just better for me because I could just stay at home and just focus on that. I didn't have to go from class to class, and I kind of transitioned into it the spring semester last year. I took all online except one. I had one in class, so I was like not all the way there. But even that was just rough for me. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I doing like 1 hour of class? And in high school was like 7 hours. I could not imagine doing that over again. But it's really nice, and it's still like as flexible as taking online classes. Your professors are really understanding about, especially with us being athletes. And I mean, we don't have as much leeway as students who might be in class just because we are online, so we have access the whole week to what our assignments are, which is fine. And I don't know, I just like it, and it's easy for Bailey and I to just kind of just go separate and do our homework and get done, and we don't have to worry about it for the weekend.
But at the same time, it takes a lot of self-discipline making sure you get all those assignments turned in on time, correct?
Yes, I am notorious for procrastinating. I'm pretty sure I have an assignment due today I have not even looked at. But I feel like I really learned how to stay disciplined and work on my time management skills by taking online classes. And I know a lot of people would prefer to go in class because they don't want to like have to make sure it's on them to make all their assignments are turned in and everything. But I really enjoy that aspect just because I know I was terrible with my time management coming into college, and now I can balance a full course load and play volleyball and like do whatever else I need to get done in my day.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and start talking about what your major is. If you have a minor, tell us what that is. But what do you plan to do with it after December, Yoder?
I'm majoring in business administration, and I will graduate with minor in entrepreneurship, sports management, and criminal justice. As of right now, it's just kind of up in the air about what I'm looking for, but I mostly want to go into the sports management side of what my degree is. And being in Indianapolis, I have access to the Colts, the Pacers, the Indians, the AAA team, the Indy Fuel, Indy 11, all those teams. So I'm kind of hoping to get into stuff with the Fuel, the hockey team, just because they are the farm team through the Chicago Blackhawks, which is my favorite hockey team. So I'm kind of hoping to just jump into their marketing, public relations, and kind of any stuff like that. I'm actually going to be looking for an internship to do after I graduate, just a grad position, whatever. So it's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but anything that I send my resume out to and I can get coming my way, it's kind of just, if I got it, then I'm just going to roll with it. So.
And you said something about criminal justice. What's that for?
Well, when I wanted to do my criminal justice minor, I wanted to become a homicide detective or be a DEA agent just because I'm really into that kind of stuff. But I didn't really want to go the whole police officer route with it. I just wanted to jump straight into doing all that, which is not how it works. So my parents were like, just finish out your minor, because I only had like one class left. And if you want to do something with that eventually, I mean, you have background on it, so it's not like you just did it for fun or something. So yeah, I didn't really do anything with that, but yeah.
And how about you, Bailey?
I'm also a business administration major, and I don't have a minor, but I almost had two different ones throughout my career. I kind of went back and forth. I originally wanted to have an art minor because I'm very passionate about ceramics and painting and a few other things in the art field. And then I looked at my course schedule that I would have to complete throughout my 4 years here, and just with the studio hours alone, it would have been impossible with volleyball. So I am a few classes short of that, and then I'm a class short of the entrepreneurship minor, but I'm thankful to have taken so many of both, because I plan on being an entrepreneur with ceramics and hopefully owning my own studio one day. And if that doesn't fall through, I would at least like to try to do either a transition to teaching through art, either at like a high school or like maybe a college. I haven't really looked into the requirements for that yet, but at least like high school. And then if not, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, but I know I would like to go some sort of direction into the art industry.
All right. So you're not really sure, but you've got all kinds of options, both of you, really, for that matter. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about volleyball this year. Started off a little bit of a rocky start, but it seems like things are finally starting to click for the team, Yoder.
Yeah, we kind of just, when we had that rough start at one point, we were like 3-11. We just told the girls, like, we hate using the excuse, we are young, but we just told them, yeah, we want to do well at the beginning of the season, but these games don't matter until we get into conference. Like, we're just figuring out our lineup, figuring who plays well against each other, playing good teams that are going to prepare us for going into conference. So we just told them, like, whatever happens now, it's preparing us for what's coming. And if we roll in conference like we have been, we'll be fine. Like, those games, they'll matter against our record, but our record in conference is completely different than our regular record. And conference teams are going to, I think we kind of came in as the underdog just because of how bad that we were doing. And team just kind of, I think, thought that we were not that good this year. And I think we've proved otherwise, and just have like made a statement in conference that we're not the team that we were a month and a half ago. And that we just have come a long way, and we're still improving. And we're hoping to just keep rolling through the rest of the month, and then once conference tournament comes around, just dominating everyone.
All right. Well, I know you said, that 3-11 record at one point, but now you're 11-14 on the season, 5-1 in conference play. And it seemed like when things finally started falling together was when conference time came around. That Point Park game was a good start there, Bailey.
Yes. Kind of like what Yoder said, we told them that the beginning of the season doesn't define us, it's the end, and especially with conference. And we could unfortunately lose all regular season games, and then every conference game we could go out and do what we need to do, win, and we make the conference tournament, we go to nationals. So the games we really need to focus on and let the team know what we wanted to go after were the conference games. And just like even a month ago, Yoder was saying, we're a completely different team. We've changed our lineups several times. I've lost count, but we've finally found a lineup I think that has worked and we've been very successful with. Right. We went out strong with Point Park. We told the girls that even because other than our sophomore, all of them have never played in our conference or understood the magnitude of why we need to win them. So we emphasized how important these games were, and we went out strong against Point Park and had our streak there, and then unfortunately lost to Kokomo, but we gave them a good fight, and then we came back against CCU and won against them. So if we just keep playing the way we play and stay aggressive, we should be having a good turnout for the end of the year.
Yeah, well, hopefully, definitely you guys stay on the track that you're on right now, because if you can stay atop the East Division, which you are right now, there's a chance you could host the conference tournament at the SEC. So we hope to see that. Best of luck to both of you in your careers, as well as the rest of the season. And there you have it from Bailey Gates and Madison Yoder, talking a little bit about their senior year and what's next for them after December when they graduate here from IU East. We'll take a break and be back with more Inside IUE Sports next after the break.
What if a home phone could also be a smartphone? And what if that home phone could save you money on your home and wireless bill at the same time? With Xfinity Voice, you get amazing technology like readable voicemail on your smartphone, caller ID on your TV, and even text messaging, all for a low price. Start saving with unlimited nationwide talk and text and switch to Xfinity Voice for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Almost done.
Now you can pay your bill, manage your appointments, and check your connection status. Anytime, anywhere.
Oh, so you're protesting? Okay.
Introducing Xfinity My Account, available on any device.